Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into Dennis Kelly's play, DNA. It's pretty intense stuff.
It really is.
Our mission really is to unpack how Kelly shows this disturbing power of groups, and that basic human need to belong.
Yeah, and how that need can actually twist things, how it turns these teenagers into this single, almost corrupting entity.
Exactly, where peer pressure just completely steamrolls individual morality.
It's a play that definitely explores that fragile edge of right and wrong, makes you look at the darker side of, human nature. You might find yourself questioning your own compass a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's quite stark how quickly things can erode when the group takes over.
Right from the beginning, doesn't he? Kelly presents them not really as individuals first, but almost straight away as this unified force, oppressive even.
And their language reflects that, doesn't it? Fragmented, half sentences.
Yeah, like they can't finish a thought on their own. It really symbolizes how that individual identity gets sort of swallowed up by the collective.
Like a hive mind.
Exactly, a hive mind. And once they're acting as one, they do things. Things maybe none of them would dream of doing alone.
Like covering up what they think is Adam's death. That's the first big, terrifying example, isn't it?
It is, and it sets up this core tension right away.
Yeah.
Wanting to fit in versus listening to your conscience.
That fear of being excluded, it feels so real in the play. It just silences people.
Mm-hmm. It pushes basic right and wrong right out the window.
Leah really embodies that struggle, I think.
Oh, definitely. Her monologues, they're long, fragmented. They're not just talking, are they? They're like a raw look inside her head.
You see how torn she is.
Yeah.
Questioning what they're doing, but terrified of being isolated. Especially from Phil.
Right, but she just can't find the courage to actually act on her own. It's quite tragic.
Which brings us to loyalty. In this group, it's not really a good thing, is it? It feels weaponized.
Completely weaponized. If you disagree, if you show dissent, it's treated like betrayal. Instantly.
And that creates this atmosphere of, fear?
Yeah, pure fear. And Phil's leadership style is central to that. It's cold, calculated.
Yeah, he doesn't say much, does he? But his silences, his few words, they carry so much weight.
Immense influence. He makes it so that being loyal to him is basically the same as surviving in the group. There's no other option, it feels like.
So that fear, that pressure, it becomes the most corrosive thing in the play, leading them into actual crimes.
Without a doubt. And you see the physical toll in Brian. His breakdown, the vomiting, the stuttering.
Yeah, what does that tell us?
It's his body literally rejecting what the group is demanding. It shows that clash between his own sort of moral gut feeling and the pressure to conform.
But the group just shuts him down, ruthlessly.
Mm-hmm. Brutally efficient at silencing conscience.
And the contrast between Leah and Phil is so stark here. Leah, like we said, is wrestling with it internally. She even says that line, if we don't tell anyone, we're monsters.
Right. A moment of clarity. Her leaving at the end feels like a desperate, maybe too late attempt to break free from that toxic loyalty.
But Phil,
yeah,
he's the complete opposite.
Utterly detached. Cold. He orchestrates everything, the cover-up, planning more crimes with this chilling efficiency.
The detail about him eating crisps while planning horrific things?
It's shocking, isn't it? It just hammers home how he's completely given up any personal morality for the sake of controlling the group. He's the architect of their downfall, really. Pure pragmatic manipulation.
So how do they live with themselves? How do they justify it?
They build these shared stories, these rationalizations. It helps ease the guilt,
Like a kind of moral algebra.
That's a good way to put it. Moral algebra, where group survival just outweighs ethics every time. They use little phrases, minimizations. It's not that bad. It wasn't really our fault.
And it creates this bubble, moral blindness.
Exactly, a closed loop. Justification feeding self-deception round and round.
You see it so clearly when they decide to frame someone innocent, like the postman or Brian.
Yeah, and Mark nervously repeating, he's just so happy about Adam later on. It shows how deep that shared delusion goes. They need to believe it.
What's maybe the most disturbing part is how something so basic, so human, just wanting to belong, sparks all these awful choices.
It starts with an accident, doesn't it? Throwing stones at Adam. But it spirals so quickly.
Into covering it up, then thinking about, brutally murdering Kathy to keep the secret, then the calculated framing of Brian.
And the casual way they discuss it, Kathy talking almost cheerfully about torturing the postman.
Yeah, that casual nature of evil is terrifying. Extreme acts just become routine, tasks to tick off a list.
Yeah, not moral crises anymore, just problems to solve according to the group's rules.
So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway here for you listening?
Well, I think Kelly's DNA is a really stark warning. It shows how ordinary people, maybe people like us, can get drawn into this kind of collective moral mess. Not necessarily out of pure evil, but sometimes just from that simple, very human desire to fit in.
Yeah, it really forces you to think about how something so fundamental, wanting to belong, can, if the circumstances are wrong, lead to, well, truly catastrophic moral outcomes. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How fragile is our own morality when things get tough? What would you actually do?